Good evening, Baltimore. This is Harry Gray and Coach Sid. This is Changing Baltimore.
Mark to the
What we do is spark maggots. What we do is spark maggots. What we do is spark maggots.
Welcome, Baltimore. Welcome, Baltimore. This is episode 19 of Changing Baltimore. I'm your host, Harry Gray.
and your co-host, Coach Sid.
And this is Changing Baltimore. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on Facebook. People here live at Moe's Seafood on Pulaski Highway. We're sponsored by Tone Drone LLC, Brainstream Media. We've been doing this since May, man, and it's been a pleasure doing it. Before we get the show started tonight, I just want to thank everybody that's behind the scenes of what we do. I don't think people understand when you try to put on a production like we're putting on. There are people up, behind it. So I want to definitely give a thanks, a shout out to Anthony TJ Payne, Brainstream Media, Tony Clark, and Denise Parks from Tone Drone LLC. Without these guys, this show would not be. We wouldn't be doing it. And for me, this is kind of like a dream come true for me. When you sit back and you take away, the coaching, you take away some things, and you try to find an avenue where you feel relevant, in life. And these people, along with, Coach said, Barry, these people really has made things open up for me, and I think we have put on a good show, a good product for Baltimore City. Yeah. So we've been doing it, again since May. We are not trained hosts. We're not journalists, but we're trying to bring something to Baltimore that everybody can enjoy. And I think some people that really tune in each and every week enjoy what we bring, to Facebook Live, to what are we on? Instagram and YouTube. But in order to keep this going, there is a fee, and these guys really need to be paid. They deserve to be paid. So if you looked on our Facebook page, we ask for donations. Those donations is not to pay Harry Gray's bills. It's not for Harry Gray to go out and go party, but it's to support the people that bring us to you in your living rooms, your classroom, or wherever you are. And we want to keep this going, so we need your help. I was feeling kind of down the other day, and I was actually at Mervo yesterday, looking at a little football practice, and one of the parents came up to me and said, Mr. Allen, hello, I know you're watching. And he came up to me and he said, man, I want to, say, hey, I love your show. I love what you guys are doing. He said, I have watched every single episode. And that really, truly, meant a lot to me. He said, man, you bring some things that are really insightful to the community. He said, keep it going. Because I was scratching my head like, I don't know how long we're going to do this. I don't know if the city and the community appreciates what we bring to them. We're not going to sit here and talk about relationships. We're not going to talk about, what's happening in Hollywood or else. We're going to try to talk about what's relevant in our community. And a lot of that is our youth. What can we do to help our youth?
Right.
how can we get better? How can we do better as far as Baltimore City public schools? You know, so if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, you know, you can definitely give us a call at 410-417-7067. I know one week I'm gonna forget that phone number because I haven't wrote it down. But you know, said just give me, you know, your feelings on that.
Well, I was talking to Coach Anthony Bug Conway at Patterson, one of the assistant coaches, and he said the same thing. He said he watched every episode, and I was like, wow, because sometimes you just feel like it's really not appreciated, but then sometimes people tell you that they really appreciate it. So we appreciate them for liking it, but at the same token, I mean, we try to reach the youth through the sports avenue, and you know, we got this prima donna basketball coming up.
Yeah.
And and the football season is on a slow decline, but we got some big games coming up this week, state playoff games. I know you want to touch on that.
Yeah, we're going to definitely touch on that a little later.
And the JV championship, which needs to be celebrated. I think it's way past due, man, way overdue that it's not celebrated. And also that the city championship needs to be celebrated. I don't even who won. Mervo won the city championship, right?
They won the A conference, and Reginald F. Lewis won the B conference, and both of them will be on the show next week.
Oh wow, nice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we're on it, and we tried, you know, to keep the show upbeat. We try not to harp a lot on the negative that's happening in Baltimore, but just to kind of piggyback on how our show started in May, we talked about what's happening as far as the murders in Baltimore City. Last year, 2018, we had 363 murders just in Baltimore City alone. Right now, we're on a 12% rise of homicides in Baltimore City, and we're standing at 290 right as of right now, and we have pretty much 2 months to go. And we're getting to a point where there are quadruple shootings and you know, 2-3 deaths per night right now. You know, so as the kids say, the block is hot. No, the block is not hot. The block is on fire right now. And you know, we definitely have to try to do something to calm it down. And we talk. We've had Brandon Scott, who's running for mayor. We had him on the shows. We had district members for the 4th district. I believe, I think for the 7th district coming on the show. And even though we have, you know, talked about what platform they're running on, we still don't have a concrete answer on what we're going to do far as what's going on with these murders. And as we said before, it's not about the rec centers. It's not about these kids don't have anything to do. I think since May, we've had people on this show that can say, hey, we can give back, and we will give back to our youth here in Baltimore. We're going to have a gentleman on, our first guest on tonight. Is going to talk about how he's giving back to the youth and to the community of Baltimore. So there's outlets that we have. So we got to stop making excuses. You know, we got to stop celebrating the I guess the criminals. You know, we got to start giving them love. And I know they say everybody needs love. Nah, you know, we having too many funerals to show them love. Too many loved ones are actually crying and suffering for that. Just Halloween, we had a young man shot and killed in Anne Arundel County while he was taking his kids trick-or-treating. So we don't have enough respect to say, you know what, he's with his kids. So we just don't love each other. And I think that's the biggest problem, and that's why every other race tends to take advantage of us, because we don't care about ourselves. So we're going to go on our first commercial break. Once we come back, we'll be with Mr. Terrence Frazier from the City of God's clothing line. We'll be right back with in just a second.
What we do is spark madness. What we do is spark madness. What we do is spark madness. What we do is spark madness.
Welcome back, Baltimore. Changing Baltimore, episode 19. Again, I'm your host, Harry Gray.
And your co-host, Coach said.
We're going to get it right before we leave it tonight.
I got Tone leaning on me, right?
This is our first segment, man. We like to, bring up Mr. Terrence Frazier. How you doing, Mr. Frazier?
Peace, what's up?
All right.
How you feeling?
All right, let's talk about it, man. City of Gods. Tell us everything about the City of Gods, man.
Hey, look, we've been blessed to be a part of Baltimore culture for the last 10 years. It's a clothing store that started out like a lifestyle brand. And myself and 4 other people helped found it back in 2009. And it was really a concept of where we had different clothing lines come together to make one store. So everybody had a different clothing line, and you see that going on a lot. A lot of people don't cooperate. So we said, hey, look, this is after recession. Let's get together, open a clothing line, even though a clothing store, even though we all have different clothing lines. So it's cooperative economics, that's part of Kwanzaa, right? But yeah, so that's what happened. City Guys was different clothing lines that came together under one roof, and then we just took our own revenue based off of how we sold clothes. So it was a hot concept how it started, and then it became a lifestyle brand, which a lot of people know for entertainment and clothes.
Yeah. So now, how did you come up with the name City of Gods?
It's funny, our partners, 50% of them saw the movie City of Gods, which was based out of Brazil, and it was called City of God, where these young, it's like a cult movie that a lot of people, see. They pretty much have these young kids going around trying to find an identity, and some of them robbing, some of them are stealing, some of them trying to escape the barrios. So a lot of people like that name, and then other part of us was like, hey, look, we're godly people, so why don't we just name it, instead of the City of God, City of Gods with the S. So it was 50-50 split. We just went with City of Gods with the S. That's how it came up. Yep.
So
Yeah.
even with the movie concept and what that movie is about, how is that really relative to what's going on in our community today with the youth running rapid and doing some of the things that they're doing?
Yeah, well, I think with the City of God, the movie, it was a lot of people who had different ways in which they were coping with the poverty. Some people got deeper into it. Some people were trying to escape. And I think the same thing with Baltimore and surrounding areas. A lot of people are trying to find out how to cope, and some people don't understand the dynamic of deep depression, poverty, drugs, the temptations out here. And, it could really be a spider's web, where you're trying to escape. So I think it relates to Baltimore pretty well, now that you said that, because we don't know the problems that a lot of people are coming with to the table in order to survive every day. And, we just looking at it as the cause. We're not looking at the effect. What's the effect? Well, the cause of it, we don't know, and the effect is what we're mad at. A lot of people are just like, yo, it's crime, but we're not really going deep.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm at the point where I just think that we don't know. And we need to really dig deeper, because I don't think we know the root of the problem. Because now it's so it's so expansive. Like, do we even know
Right.
where to even start?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But where you guys located?
So we're in the heart of the city on Southwest Baltimore, right on the line of West and Southwest, which is Highlands Market area.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't go down there as much as they used to, but it's the oldest market in the country, one of the oldest in the country, Highlands
Wow.
Market. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
It, it's just if you still look outside Highlands Market, they still got like horses, where they used to tie up the horses,
Oh, okay.
like the poles. So that's what tells you how old it is, But it's really, a little quaint area that is going through a gentrification period right now, because
Yeah, I bet.
it's a lot of developers there. University of Maryland, Bon Secours. You got Warhorse, which is Kevin Plank's brother. So a lot of people are, it's good news for people in that area. Put it that way. Yeah.
So with the City of Gods, man, tell us some of the things that you guys are doing in the community to either help the community or just, get your brand out there.
Well, first of all, we party. No, I'm sorry.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we do.
That's in the community.
There's a lot of celebrations, because we see it as people get a dismal view of Baltimore, so we kind of like take a different spin on it. Like, we try to find the best ways in which we can celebrate our people, celebrate the community. And we looked at early on, we did a lot of concerts. We've probably done I think about 250 concerts over the years, and we do, we have like artists come and perform. So we put a lot of names out here today have come and performed at our shop, and it's real quaint. It's maybe can fit 80 people inside, and then we started expanding from the mini concerts to larger venues, doing different types of events where we celebrate. So we do a lot of events. Yeah.
So if anybody have any questions for Mr. Frazier, the number is 410-417-7067. Just give him calls, give him a shout out, ask any questions, anything that you have for him. Mr. Frazier, now, we all three of us are in education. We're actually in special education. With some of the things that you see during the course of the day, man, how do you really think that it really affects? Because we keep saying we don't know the true cause of what's going on with these kids in our community. But, how does what we see on a daily basis, you think, is really affecting our community? I know, I'll give you an example. Some of these kids, we say need to be medicated, but they're not being medicated.
Right.
Those effects, it's definitely going to affect their attitude. It's going to affect their mood. So do you think some of those things mental health, their disabilities. Are you thinking that's hurting them once they get out here in their communities?
Well, I think the bigger part is like, are we suffering? What are people suffering from? You know, and the diagnosis is typically, you know, they'll put ADHD or bipolar or schizophrenia, depression, but those are symptoms of the affliction and what's going on in the society. So you got to look at, hey, look, why are people being depressed? Why are people feeling this pressure? You know, so you know, a typical example is how many people have seen a commercial where, you know, a neighbor rolls up in the driveway with a new car, and then other neighbors watering his lawn and looking at the car, admiring it. You know what I mean? Right. And that already breeds envy, jealousy. You know what I mean? And the other guy says, I just got this, you know, 2019 such and such. So the American way is really like, hey, look, I'm better than you. You know what I mean? And necessarily, this is important. When you go to poor countries, poverty does not breed crime. You know what I mean? People who are in Ghana may not have, you know, 2 pennies to rub together, but they're not killing each other, right? So you look at why is people say, well, it's the money factor. It's not really necessarily the money factor. It's really the attitude that we have towards how money operates. So we say, if I have more than you, then you are less than me. You know, so with that mindset, you know, people who feel like they got to steal, borrow, or whatever they have to do in order to get it in Western society. So that's what is the ills coming from: the pressure from trying to pay the bills, the pressure from trying to keep up with the latest sneakers, the pressure from trying to impress women or men. So it's not necessarily not having it, because you can not have it and be good, but it's the pressure of not having it. I think that's what is the cause of a lot of the problems.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So again, Mr. Frazier, man, I want to thank you. Thank you, City of Gods.
I didn't even do my two-step yet, my dance, man.
We're gonna put the music on for you, man. Yeah. So you can go ahead and get the two-step in. But thank you for coming up, man, and sharing things
Shout out to everybody that you know, supported us over the years. We're at 1118 Holland Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21223, right by the Hollands Market. You know, we got, you know, clothing, City of God's clothing, Motions clothing, and we also, you know, do a lot of events. So look out for this is important. Thanksgiving, we're having Thanksgiving morning from 9 to 12. We're serving the homeless. So this is our 5th annual time we do it, and you know, we have some big. We usually have about 300 people come out, and we serve about the community Thanksgiving morning. So,
is that going to be same location as the store?
Yeah, same location as the store.
So come on out. So if you know someone, if you're just driving around and need, just stop your car and say, hey, look, go to this location right here and get fed. So I want to thank you.
And do your two-step.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So thank you again, man, for coming on. We love you. Baltimore, we'll be right back.
Peace. Good.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, Baltimore. I'm your host, Harry Gray.
And your co-host, Coach Sad. Sorry.
We're brought to you by Tone Drone LLC, Brainstream Media, and Moe's Seafood on Pulaski Highway. Again, I wanted to give you that address for the City of Gods for Thanksgiving. For the Feed the Homeless. It's 1118 Holland Street. It's by Holland Street Market. It's going to be Thanksgiving. So if you know anyone that's down on their luck, definitely tell them about the location. We'll be talking about it again in upcoming weeks. Definitely want to get everybody fed during that time. Again, our phone number, if you want to reach us, 417-7067. Again, talking about donations, we're still looking for donations for this program. We want to keep it going. I don't care if it's $1. Just please go ahead and donate so we can get the bills paid so we can stay on the air. You can donate anytime from now up until November the 24th, but now is better. Better than later, correct? All right. So this is the second segment, and we want to give a great preview and shout out to all the JV coaches, JV football coaches that's in Baltimore. I don't think they get enough recognition of what they do. They are the ones that get the kids ready for the varsity programs. So the ones that come through the JV and then they move up to the varsity and they're playing in the playoffs or they get the scholarships, these are the guys that you don't need the shout out. These are the ones that need the I'm gonna say the praise and the congratulations and the kudos, because they get these guys when they're raw and they develop them for a year or two to get them right where they are for the varsity coaches, to make a lot of varsity coaches' job a lot easier. So these are the guys behind the scenes that never get the recognition. So here at Changing Baltimore, we want to give all the recognition to, all the coaches, all the players, because this is about the Baltimore metro area. Cosette.
Yeah, I want to just echo the same sentiments, because without the JV, the varsity wouldn't even really be possible, because with a great varsity program, you have a great JV program and coaches. And then you have to, some JV coaches, kind of get upset when the varsity coach kind of move the kids up, but that's what it's really all about. I mean, it's about teaching them kids and getting them ready for varsity, whether it be the first game of the season or going into the playoffs. The varsity coach can have that autonomy to do so. So, yeah.
All right. So tomorrow is a big day for Baltimore City junior varsity football. We have 2 championship games tomorrow night. We have Reginald F. Lewis and Frederick Douglass playing in the first game over at Poly High School, starting, I believe, is at 4:30?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. So get there at 4:30. That means you're on time. So these guys, we wanted to bring them up so they could talk a little bit about their program and how they got to that point. So to my left right here, head coach for Reginald F. Lewis, Mr. Emmanuel Glover. And to my right, head coach, Mr. Walt Wilson from Frederick Douglass High School. How y'all guys doing?
Doing great,
fine,
man.
Thanks
Glad to
for
be here
having me
tonight.
in, man.
All right. Now I know usually a night before, big game, when you're about to face each other, you tend not to sit at the same table. You're kind of thinking, but we're trying to bring everybody together. So, Coach Glover, man, tell me, man, how you guys are preparing for tomorrow night.
It is a championship game, but we taking it as a regular season game. The kids are very excited. I'm very excited. We prepare as if we prepared to win. We preparing as if there's a chance that we can lose. So we staying focused, and we gonna see tomorrow.
Now this is the second straight year for Lewis in the championship game. Last year y'all played Carver at Dunbar. Is any more of those kids from that team left over for this year?
2. 2 kids. Most of the other kids are now playing varsity. The starting quarterback from last year is the starting quarterback for varsity, and our cornerback, Cartier Lewis, is now the cornerback on the varsity level. So we only have 2 players from last year's team.
So have those 2 players, pretty much told the rest of those guys, hey, this is what to expect? Because when you first get out there, it may not be a lot of people out there, but once that second half starts, it's going to be kind of full.
Yes, that's one of the things that as a team I try to keep my guys focused for. Being in the JV championship last year, when the 2 prestigious programs pull up, Dunbar and Maryville, it's a different scene. So I stress with my guys, please do not be distracted or disturbed by the game that's behind us and continue to focus on our game. I think that was a key moment in last year in the helping changing the way the game was played.
Yep, and then Coach Wilson. Frederick Douglass, the Douglas Ducks, man.
Ducks, baby.
They're in the championship game. I read some of the Facebook posts. A lot of people counted you guys out, the whole entire program. A lot of people said you can't coach. Pop Warner coaches. The program is going to be down in the dumps. The principal, the athletic director don't know what they're doing, but you guys are here.
Well, let me straighten some stuff out real quick. I'm certainly not a Pop Warner coach. I'm an NFL former player.
That's it.
So they got a professional over there helping out the program on the JV level. So they way past Pop Warner guys.
Right.
Certainly not me.
That's it.
But I think Douglas is going to be on the upswing. We had a lot of confusion, during the summer with varsity. A lot of guys went to other teams, which made the JV players go up to the varsity level. So I basically had a lot of kids that never played football, and still we're in a championship game.
Gotcha. So I know those guys are definitely prepared. What's some of the things that you're telling them, because this is a big stage?
Oh, absolutely. Well, like I said, I keep them boys in line. Let them know, look, this is a great opportunity to get you guys on the map. We focus. We played Reginald Lewis early in the year. We kind of let that game get away from us. We actually had them on the hook. We should have won the game. Fumbled 3 times inside the 10-yard line, but that ain't gonna happen this week.
Yeah, Coach Ed.
Who are some of the guys, the up and coming guys that we might need to be looking forward to moving up to the varsity and being explosive on the varsity? We could start with the linemen since we ugly teachers, right?
Right. As far as me, I was fortunate enough to get a great group of freshman linemen. A couple of my linemen came from the Stallions program, so that was unlimited football, so they were used to playing. Then I have a big freshman, 6'3", like 285, Kelby Carter, and he thinks he belongs on varsity, so his mindset is, I want to get moved up at the end of the year, so he's excited about tomorrow, very excited. So hopefully, in the trenches we can stay focused. And as a former lineman myself, football can't be played without the offensive lineman, defensive lineman.
That's it.
Games are always won in the trenches, but I got a lot of offensive guys that are skilled, got good wide receivers and running backs. So, my speed, I think, is going to be the difference tomorrow.
So, again, I don't know. Are they calling from rain? I know the temperature has kind of changed a little bit. So, if it is rainy, I know you guys are, actually playing on turf. I know, at Reginald F. Lewis, home field is grass. Douglas, your turf. Is that you think is an advantage for Douglas, or you think you guys are going to be okay?
I think we're going to be fine. Like we said, we practice on the grass a lot, so a lot of guys they didn't already wash their cleats off. They ain't even practicing their cleats today, for they're going to play tomorrow. We have a lot of speed too, so the turf going to make us much faster. So I don't think it's a disadvantage. It's football, 11-on-11 football. The team that execute the most is going to win.
My sentiment is exactly. I mean, if you go out there and perform, if it rain, hail, sleep, or snow, we're gonna play football.
That's it. Say it.
Well, I just want to say, good luck tomorrow, and it should be a great game. I'm looking forward to come checking that out.
And as both of you have already said, and you know it, just off of experience, when those kids get off that bus, I don't care what time they get off the bus, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to kind of be in awe of, hey, it's a championship, and we get to go in the Poly's locker room and we get to sit. Let them stargaze for a minute, but I think that the key is getting them focused quickly, and the one that can be focused the quicker. I think this is the one that's going to wind up winning the ball game. I remember Coach Lon Smith said on a videotape one time, little highlights, Dunbar and Mervo playing. He said, hey, the first 10 minutes is nothing but adrenaline. Once things go down at those first 10 minutes, that's when all the football is going to come out. So if you can maintain that first 10 minutes, you should be good.
I agree. You got the young guys and testosterone, man, and that adrenaline, and they ready to roll. But it takes them a couple minutes to get settled in and get ready to go. It takes them some time, but once they do, man, then you can play football. Then it's just time to play football.
Yeah. Coach, got anything to say? Any final words?
I just appreciate Baltimore City, Miss Bird, for even showcasing the junior varsity level. A lot of areas they shut junior varsity down after the season over, and we have an opportunity to showcase, as y'all say, some of our younger talent who needs to be exposed. Like I say, I'm thankful for Baltimore City. I'm thankful for the fans. I'm thankful for my AD, my head coach, and my principal for trusting me with these young men as we get them raw to maintain, get them prepared for the varsity level. Just hope everybody come out and support both games, Reginald F. Lewis versus Douglas, and of course Mervo versus Dunbar, to help support JV football in its entirety.
Coach Wilson?
Yeah, same here, man. I just appreciate the platform we're going to have tomorrow. Normally you don't get a JV championship at any level, and tomorrow we get a chance to showcase our kids and show our coaching style and look, hey, we're going to play football and the best team going to win. But players make plays, and my boys going to come to play.
That's it. Well, I know at the end of those 48 minutes, Baltimore City, they're going to, present the winner with a plaque. But here at Change in Baltimore, we're going to show our appreciation within the next 2 weeks to the winner also. We're going to give the winner something to show our appreciation for the kids, not to upstage Baltimore City, but ours probably be a little better. Don't get me, Miss Bird, but we just want to thank you guys, and like the coach has said, come on out. These are young men that did what they were supposed to do in the classroom, still doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom, in the community, and they're trying to be positive. So just support them for just being positive. This is Reginald F. Lewis. This is Frederick Douglass. The game tomorrow at 5 o'clock. The cost is $5.
I believe.
$5. Come on, give you $5, and that will get you 2 games. But show these young men in Baltimore that you appreciate what they're doing, how they're doing it, because they could be out here on the street. They could be doing anything else other than playing football. So I know definitely I'm going to be there just to, give support to both programs and let them know, hey, we thank you for doing what you do for your school, for your team, and for the community. So I want to thank you guys, man, and definitely want to have you guys on again, man, in a few weeks. Good luck to both of you guys.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks for being here, baby.
All right.
What we do is spark maggots. What we do is spark maggots. What we do is spark maggots. What we do is spark maggots.
Yo, pass that lighter. Welcome back, Baltimore. Segment 3, Changing Baltimore. I'm your host, Harry Gray.
And your co-host, Coach Sam.
We just gonna let this beat just play a little longer, man. This is bring us back a little bit, man. Make you want to bob your head, a little two-step. Even the people in the 50s can still bob their head. I'm 50, so can't dance, but I'm gonna bob my head. Welcome back again. Welcome back. We're here, man, with the head JV coach of the Mervo Mustangs, Mr. Bobby Giles. How you doing, Mr. Giles?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good.
He's mellow tonight. This is going to be Dunbar couldn't make it tonight. Coach Todd Johnson, hope you get better. Coach Bobby said you weren't sick. You're still at practice, but I ain't going to say nothing in front of 1,000 people. But we have the second game of the JV championship. It's pretty much the game that everybody is looking forward to. Mervo Mustangs against the Dunbar Poets. This is the 5th straight. Who's saying woo for the Poets? Oh my goodness!
Oh man!
Oh my god! This is year 5, man. That Dunbar and Mervo have faced off in the JV championship. And it doesn't matter how the regular season goes. Mervo could be undefeated. Dunbar could be undefeated. Dunbar could have one loss. These are the two best teams right now on the JV level, and I want to say probably on the varsity level in Baltimore City. So when these get together, the average crowd is probably about anywhere between 800 to 1,000 people for a JV football game.
Wow.
And tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at Poly High School, these two teams are going to get it on again for the JV championship. Coach Giles, tell me, man, how you feeling tonight?
Oh man, feeling blessed. 10 toes down.
And the last couple of years, you ain't had to feel this pressure, of actually, really getting ready for game as a defensive coordinator. Of course, there's a little press, but tell me, how does it feel now to switch from, defense coordinator to now the head coach and trying to prepare the team for the biggest game of the year?
Well, for me, it's really no pressure. We are trying to be the champions. Dunbar are the champions. They the champions from last year. We trying to dethrone these guys. So, to me, it's really no pressure. I got a young group of guys that's hungry, they humble, and they want it. So, we just going out here and get 4 quarters of football and let the fat lady sing.
Cosette.
The fat lady sang coach.
Yeah, she gonna be singing a lullaby.
How you guys looking? Have a great week of practice, and how you look up front and your skilled guys. Like, how you looking?
Well, we got a young team. I got 55 kids with only 15, maybe 16 sophomores.
She.
But the nucleus is our line play. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people really don't recognize the line play that we have, but I got maybe 16, 17, 18, I'm sorry. I got 18 really good offense and defensive linemen, you know, that can hold it down.
That's music to my ears right there.
Coach said, it's music to my ears, man. You know, the game to me is a big stage, but to me it's just another game, you know what I'm saying? And I teach my kids, let them know, like, look, we only playing one down at a time. We're not playing against the name of a school. We're not playing against nobody but 11 guys that do not have a Merville Mustang jersey on.
So one of the things, unlike the first game with Reginald Lewis and Douglas, these two teams are used to the limelight. So when they cut those lights on, it's not going to be in awe. Those two teams are not going to be in awe. I think both teams are going to be even keel. But the difference. What's the difference with this group? Even though it's a brand new group from last year, do you see more of intensity, seriousness with this group opposed to the last couple of years?
Well, I think, with the last couple of years, a lot of people got caught up in the hype, Merville versus Dunbar. You know what I'm saying? And the mentality and the attitude that I had instilled in these guys back in July. You know what I'm saying? When we had weight training, it was more or less like, look, man, it's Merville or nobody else. And that's the mentality that we have. So, some games we might start off a little slow and then pick the pace up. Some games we come out, with the gas pedal down to the metal.
And some of the games. Let's talk about the first game of the season. You guys played Dunbar. We're down 14-0. With Dunbar having the ball.
It was 16, Coach. I don't mean to cut you off. It was 16.
16, and Dunbar throws an interception, returned back from the touchdown, and then it just seemed like you said, all pedal to the metal at that point in time right there, where Merville scored 20 unanswered to win the ball game. And one of the things that I saw then, I was in the concession stand, so no, I'm not coaching y'all. I was in the concession, but one of the things that I saw when they did win, it was some celebration, but it was almost like, okay, you know what, we're not going to celebrate too much because we were supposed to win. We are expected to win. Let's get ready for the next game. So is that confidence still carried over? Because honestly, after that game, there was no more close games. I think, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think you pretty much averaged about 40, 49 points a game on average, after that.
Well, the week one, what I'm saying, to me, I made it a big week. And, now that I think about it, I really shouldn't have, because every week is a big week. But what I did was, I said, I've been a defensive coordinator at Merville for 4 years. I lost to Dunbar in the championship 4 years as a defensive coordinator. I said, what better way for me to become a head coach and the guys that beat me 4 years in a row in the championship to play them week one? So my mindset was, we're going to play our championship game week 1 and week 10.
That's it. Cosette.
Well, being uncontested could be a gift and a curse, because if the kids go in too high, as Coach Wren used to say, they going in fat and sassy, and you don't really want that. but at the same time, you don't want them too low. So how do you channel that, or how do you get your kids to channel that, not being too high, not being too low?
Well, a lot of the scores that we had didn't really dictate the game. With me having the amount of kids that I had, when I seen that we had a team that we knew that we can throw up a lot of points on, I played my starters for the first quarter. After that, then I had my second string, played the second quarter, and then for the whole second half, I played my third and fourth string guys.
Sheesh.
So it's pretty much, I gave everybody an opportunity to get a chance to get out on the field, to show the limelight, to give their parents a chance to come out and watch them play the game as well.
Absolutely.
So, to go out here to try to beat a team with your starters like 50 to 60 to nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of coach. So the way I work is, if I know that I can beat you without a doubt, then my starters are going to sit. I went in the 2 games, I benched 14 of my starters one game. That was against Patterson. And then an incident happened where I wound up having to sit 10 more of my starters against Digital. You know what I'm saying? But I give all my kids the opportunity to get on the field to showcase why they made the team.
So tomorrow, Baltimore. Give these young men, man, some support. Mervo versus Dunbar, 7 p.m. Poly High School. Under the lights is $5. And boy, coach, so you got another thing to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I took a page out of an old timers playbook, and I'm gonna give this guy his props where props are due. Coach Hurd, thank you for all you done for me, all the long conversations that you had. He basically told me, like, Coach, I'm telling you now, don't make no game bigger than what it is. The game is only as big as the football. If you dominate both points, you win the game. And that's what we plan on doing tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., man, $5. Come see it, man. Great talent. This is your future in Baltimore City. So we're going to be back. We want to thank Coach Giles from Mervo Mustangs for being up here. We have one more segment to go before we close out. Good luck, Coach Giles, tomorrow. Bring it home. I don't want to be a homer, but go Mustangs!
Go Mustangs. Hey, just understand I am an alumni.
We're going to play some music on that one. You say go poet. We'll be right back.
Make sure you don't deliver my mail.
Yo, that's that light.
All right, welcome back. We get ready to wrap this up, but before we go tonight, we want to talk about just a little bit about the varsity. We talked about the JV. This week is the first week of the state playoffs, and Baltimore City has 11 teams in the state playoffs. So we're going to give our predictions for the first round coming up this week. So let's start with the 3A. Let's go to 1A first since we got the most teams. 1A, you have the A-seeded Douglas Ducks from Baltimore City going against the number 1 seed Dunbar Poets. Man, boy, we about to throw all Dunbar fans out of Moe's Seafood. So the number 1 Poets versus number 8 Douglas Ducks. Who you got?
Dunbar and Douglas kind of rebuilding, so I think Dunbar should.
All right, what's point spread? We going with point spread now.
I'm not good at that, but I
10?
think 10.
By 10? 10 or more?
10 or more.
So we say 10.
Yeah.
I'm going with 15. That's my prediction.
Jeez.
All right. Then we have the number 2 Emerson Red Storm against the 7th seed Francis Scott Key. I'm going with the Red Storm. I'm going with the Red Storm by 8.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
All right, said by 8.
That's pretty accurate.
All right, we had the number 3 Reginald F. Lewis Falcons against the number 6 Forest Park Foresters.
Shoo.
That's a toss up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nick and them. I think Nick and them get it done.
I'm going with Lewis also, but it's going to be a close one. I'm gonna say Lewis by 4.
I think.
What you got?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
All right. The last one in 1A is the number 4 Lake Clifton Lakers against the number 5 Carver Bears.
Can't go against Coach Money, man.
So you got Lake.
I can't go against Coach Money. I think they're gonna pull that one out.
I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with Carver. I'm gonna go with Carver by 6 over Lake. I'm gonna go by Carver over 6 by Lake. In that game, I believe the Emerson, the Lewis, and the Lake Clifton game is going to be at Poly. We'll double check that. But I think if it's at Poly, that's a neutral site, so nobody has that home field advantage.
Right.
All right, let's go to 2A. 2A, we have the number 1 seed Milford Mill Millers versus the number 8 seed Digital Harbor. What's Digital Harbor's name? Digital Harbor.
Did you say digital?
Yes.
Digital Harbor.
Yes, I did.
Digital.
Because the Dunbar people keep messing with me, man.
I think the Millers, man, they pretty tough, man. Reggie's team, that's pretty tough. That's gonna be hard to beat them, man.
I'm going with Milford Mill by 20.
Yeah. I hate giving predictions, but yeah.
Yes. All right. The last one is in 2A is the number 3 Hereford versus number 6 Patterson Clippers. Number 6 seed Patterson Clippers.
I think we going up there and we gonna upset them.
You know what? If Patterson is clicking on all cylinders, honestly, if they played, this game like they played the Marble game, I'm gonna go with Patterson also.
Yeah. We
and a close one.
Yeah.
So let's go.
It's gonna be tough, man. Yeah. Going up there, it's gonna be tough.
And it's gonna be cold.
And it's gonna be cold. Yep.
So now we in the 3A North. We have the number 1 seeded Mervo Mustangs versus Kenwood. And that's at Mervo.
Yeah, I'll take Mervo on a close one with that. Kenwood tough, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mervo. And yes, it's gonna be close. Because Mervo hasn't played in a couple of weeks. So, they didn't play last week. And the week before that, they played Southwestern. So they haven't been challenged in a while. So they got to gear up for this one. It's the second season. The other game is the number 4 seeded Towson Generals versus the number 5 seed City Knights.
I'm gonna go with.
We ain't gonna say nothing.
I'm gonna go with City. I'm gonna go with the Knights. They get the guys coming back off of the sanctions, and they should be rolling.
I'm going to go with.
Let me just say this: it's hard to get them back up from that Poly game. It's gonna be tough, but I think they can get it done.
So who you say you at, City?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going with Towson. I don't know if I can never go with City. I mean, even if they was playing the Pop Warner team. All right, hey, so that's our predictions for the first round of the state playoffs. Love you guys. We'll be back next week for episode 20 of Changing Baltimore. Again, man, thank you all. Please give us those donations to keep us up and running, and we'll see you again next week. Peace.